So here we go. I just opened it up and I'm getting ready to connect my Alienware laptop to it. I have two 3.0 USB ports on this side, and then a couple, actually three USB ports on this side. One of them is actually kind of wonky. I've had this Aki 7 port on here for a long time, and frankly I don't really need 7 ports, especially with my new remote station I have on the other side of the house. This laptop is actually being run via this HDMI cord to another monitor at my reviewing table, and I can get rid of that since that's a 7 port, and this is actually going to another StarTech device. It's a 50-foot USB 3.0 cord hub that's running to my work table, so I can remotely also connect up my mice, keyboard, that sort of thing. Run it directly to my laptop here, but do everything at the work table, so I don't have to get up and come all the way over here. So basically, this is going to clean up a lot of this cords, open up the space a little bit, make it a little neater, and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that all together. It's a lot lighter than I thought. Alright, so all set, ready to go. Now I did have to install the drivers off the CD. I'm running Windows 7 Ultimate, and it didn't want to recognize the drivers coming off the docking station. So I plugged in a Samsung external drive into the newly opened port, installed the drivers, bada bing, bada boom, we're all good. And here off the side, down the side, there is a quote-unquote super speed, basically just gives you full charge, as well as sync port. That's actually what I'm running my Samsung F90's cord, because that's the most commonly used cord. I upload my files to my video editor, as well as charge the camera. So that's running off the side. In the back, I have my HDMI cord running to my remote monitor instead of running off to the side here, and actually the display is a lot cleaner now. As well as that USB hub running over 50-foot cord, and I don't have anything actually in the back as of yet, other than those two, but yeah, it's all ready to go. Oh, and another thing is that the hub itself is like basically from here to here, and it fit in perfectly, literally perfectly, between the two bottom vents at the corners here. So, to tell you the truth, when I put this in under here, I didn't even think about my bottom vents. I used to have this on actual little wood slats to get that underflow, but yeah, this is great, because I have a cooling fan that I was actually originally intending to put underneath here, but once I realized that my vents on both sides are perfectly open now, no worries. Plus it boosts up the screen a little bit. So very pleased indeed now that I got the drivers in there, and we'll go look at my remote monitor on the other side of the house. Alright, one last ad, just in case you were curious what the software manager looks like. There it is right there. Click on it, and here's the various options, and then the version number if you're curious. Alright, and also, just as mentioned, before, when it was running straight to this HDMI port on the side of my laptop, I was actually getting some screen flicker at the very top, just occasional screen flicker, but it's now completely gone. So nicely done there, and it comes with 3 different cords. Of course, I have the US cord plugged in, but depending on your world's location, it comes with the additional other 2. So, I don't know. Very well done. Very pleased. Alright, you guys have yourself a great one. Alright, so here we go. I got it all set up with a Link S gold-plated display port to VGA adapter. It's actually behind my laptop, going to this old NEC monitor I've had for anywhere between 10 to 15 years. It's an old one, but it still works great. It just has been sitting in storage doing nothing. So I pulled it out, hooked it up, and I have it as a left desktop extension. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. So basically, I can go ahead and have my various social media up here, like Facebook. I got my YouTube channel up right now, and right on the right hand side, on the main portion, I have my video editing software. Now, of course, the actual resolution and all that's going to ultimately depend on the monitor itself, but the advantage that DisplayPort to VGA has over HDMI to VGA is that DisplayPort is more closely related to VGA, so the transition is always going to be a lot cleaner than HDMI. Now, I have a StarTech hub in the back of my laptop that has an HDMI output as well as a DisplayPort output, as well as some USB 3.0 ports, as well as a dedicated charging port. And the HDMI actually is already in use. It's a long 50-foot HDMI to HDMI cord running all the way to an Acer monitor on the other side of the house. So I can remotely view this laptop, and it's actually running through an HDMI switch, so not only do I view that laptop through there, but also mirrorcasting Android tablets and that sort of thing. So that HDMI port is in use, and that the same hub though has a display port that it would otherwise never get used. And I have a display port on the side of this laptop, but it's a little wonky, so using the StarTech one is far better. So not only do I get to finally use a monitor that I've had for ages, still works great, but VGA only, but I also get to use that display port output that I would never probably otherwise use. And I don't have to spend, any additional money on buying a new monitor or anything like that. Just that one little adapter did the trick. It made use of two things I would probably never have used without it, and works great. I mean, it's fluid. Now the contrast on this screen is a little bit darker than that, but I could probably change that a bit with playing around with the monitor settings, as well as this display software that I use right over here. But for my purposes, keeping up social media pages, what have you, on my left hand side, while my main work screen is open for whatever for my actual video editing and what have you. It works great. Works great. So, pretty sweet. Alright, you guys have yourself a great one.